The Ohio State Buckeyes have Texas right where they want them for a big Week 1 win. Let's talk about it. My name's Paul. Together with my buddy Aaron, we are the Big Ten guys. Tune in daily for news, insights, analysis. If you are a fan of Big Ten football, don't miss out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We got a lot more Ohio State and Big Ten content coming. So, if I were to tell you, obviously we all know Week 1, you got two of the top teams in the country, Texas and Ohio State. If I were to tell you one of these teams is the defending national champion, is returning the best player in the country on both offense and defense, and is at home in this game, I think we all would agree that's the team that's probably going to win and everyone should be raving about. But somehow, Texas is the team that has all the hype and all the attention, and the defending national champions are coming into this game as like the quiet team nobody's talking about, and I truly don't understand it. So let's look at a few things that I think are going to have a big impact on this game, and then I'll talk about like some of the betting things we're going to see, and you let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe you think Texas is going to win. I think I can convince you otherwise here, but let's dive into it. So, first, this Texas hype train is out of control. Like, this is the New York Times right here, and I laughed out loud when I saw this. Like, Texas didn't even win their conference last year. They haven't won a natty since Vince Young. Like, how are we talking about them as football's new Bama? Like, they've won nothing. Like, I'm truly baffled by this. And like I get it, like the talk is they're just rebuilding, they're pumping out 4 and 5 stars, next man up mentality. But like we haven't seen him do that yet. If any team is doing it, it's Ohio State, and this is coming from a Michigan fan. Like I hate Ohio State, but Big Ten guys, I gotta put my biases aside and just tell you how I see it. But like Ohio State has been a factory pumping out 5-star NFL players, and they have a natty and several Big Ten championships to back it up. Texas has nothing. Like, they won the Big 12 2 years ago, but they didn't win the SEC last year. They lost to the Buckeyes in the playoffs. People need to just slow their roll on this Texas hype train. And, like, a lot of it is Arch Manning. If you look at the odds to win the Heisman, it's Arch Manning above, like, QBs who like Garrett Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik, who have proven that they can be legitimate quality NFL caliber quarterbacks. They're both projected to be top 10 picks next year. They both have proven it on this stage already. Look, I get Arch Manning. He's a Manning. But people are expecting him to come in and be prime college Peyton Manning from day one. And I just don't see it. Like Aaron has mentioned on this show several times, if he truly was like prime Peyton Manning just sitting there, he would have been their starter last year. Like, I know Ewers was solid, and you'd hate to bench a senior quarterback when like in their last big year, but like Texas isn't going to worry about Quinn Ewers' feelings. They wanted to win a natty, and they believed Quinn Ewers gave them a better chance at that than Arch Manning did. And like if you look at Ewers last year, like I mean, he was solid. I'm not going to hate on the guy. 3,400 yards, 32 touchdowns, did throw 12 picks, but like those numbers really don't blow me away, especially considering Arch Manning is much more of a dual threat than he is. Like, those aren't incredible numbers, and I think, NFL evaluators clearly could see Ewers is just not that special. Like, I mean, gosh, I don't know if you watched him in the Dolphins' first preseason game. He was going against, like, the Bears' 8th stringers and went, like, 5 of 19 with 2 fumble sacks. Like, he is a decent quarterback. But if Arch Manning is the second coming of Peyton, he would have been the starter last year. The fact that they waited until this year to start him tells you, like, yeah, maybe he's going to be good, but he should not be the Heisman favorite. shouldn't even be close to that right now. It's all just hype because he was a number one recruit and because of his last name. Like, I mean, just historically, like, Florida back in the day, they had Chris Leak was an absolute star, but they couldn't keep Tim Tebow off the field because Tebow was that good. I mean, you've seen it with Ohio State has had guys have to transfer because a younger guy is just so much better than they are. Like, if you are as good as everyone thinks Arch Manning is, he would have started last year, and that's end of story. And now looking in a little more to like the rest of the Texas team, they lost a lot. Like 4 of their 5 offensive linemen this year are going to be new starters. 2 of them have never started a game in their life, and 2 of them have gotten some playing time. And they had Kelvin Banks go 9th overall. They had Jody Barron go in the first round to the Broncos. Matthew Golden was a first-round pick. A D lineman in the second round. Another defensive back in the second round. Like, good luck covering Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate without your best corners from last year. Like, and then, I mean, they lost Gunnar Helm. They, like, their defensive line and offensive line, the majority of them are in the NFL now. This is a completely different team from what we saw last year. And honestly, it reminds me a lot of Michigan last year, where it's like Michigan sent so many players to the NFL. They returned a handful of stars. But, like, when you have this many new players trying to come together and gel, it takes time. Like, yeah, I believe they're 4 of their 5 new offensive linemen that are starters. Like, they're probably all good players. I think one of them was one of the best offensive tackle prospects in the country. He's a sophomore this year, and then some solid 4 stars. But, like, it takes time for a unit to come together. And I think that's why you saw Michigan really not put it together until the end of the season. Like, you can't just lose 12 of your best players and expect to be right there week 1 dominating. And I know Ohio State lost some guys too, but they're still, like, they still have Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles, their 2 biggest leaders on defense. They're bringing a lot of the guys that are going to be starting have a little more experience than these Texas guys. They brought in Bo Atkinson from North Carolina on offense. Like, they're bringing back several of their starting O-linemen and brought in some transfers that should shore up that O-line. Their receivers are still going to be the best receivers in the country. Like, Julian Sayin, I assume it's going to be Julian Sayin. It's his first game, too, as the starter, but he has so much more going for him. He has the better receivers. He's going to have the more cohesive line. He's going to have a solid running game, and he's going to be at home. He's going to have the crowd on his side. Like, I just don't believe Arch Manning, with a new O-line and new receivers and this hostile environment, is going to be anything special. And, like, ESPN just came out with an article saying, like, you got to fade Texas. Like, they should be a good team, but they kind of touch on a lot of what I just touched on here. Like, they were inefficient in the red zone last year, and now they have a new quarterback and a new offensive line and new receivers. Like, you think they're all of a sudden going to be a great red zone team? They got questions at defensive tackle, whereas Ohio State is bringing back the majority of their, I think all of their interior offensive line. Like, Ohio State's going to be able to run the football, and that's going to make Julian Sayin's job that much easier. Like, this Texas hype train is completely out of control. Vegas knows it. I think Ohio State is a 3-point favorite in the game. Honestly, I'm taking Ohio State, and I'm taking the points. I like Ohio State by at least a touchdown in this game. I think Arch Manning is completely overhyped. He might end up being amazing, but if he was amazing right now, he would have been the starter last year. Buckeye fans, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Give me a score prediction for that game. Tell me what you think of Arch, what you think of Julian Sayin, how you think Ohio State's going to do this year. Let me know. And then just take a quick second on your way out. Like and subscribe. Helps us out a ton. And we got a lot more content coming that you're not going to want to miss. Peace.